Hey, I'm Eric, and I'm listening to 100 albums in 100 days. For all the details on what I'm doing and why, go check out the video pinned to my profile. Today, I listened to Pocket Full of Kryptonite from the Spin Doctors. I had not heard this album before. It came out in '91. I remember hearing their singles on the radio, and I vaguely remember their videos, and I went out and checked out the videos on YouTube while I was listening. And once I saw Little Miss Can't Be Wrong, I remembered it. That is the most '90s video ever created. So that came back to me after I saw it. So the album came out in '91, but their singles didn't really hit until '92 when MTV got a hold of their videos. That makes a lot of sense. Given their sound on this album, they didn't really fit into what was coming out of the '80s. And what was coming up in the early, 90, 91, 92, they didn't really fit in that sound either. They're just kind of on their own, and so I can see why it didn't catch on at first. But this was a really great album. I like all of the singles that they released. I remember liking them when I heard them then, and I like them now. They're some of the top tracks on the album. For my money, though, my favorite songs on the album are Shinbone Alley, which is the last track on the album. It's a really blues oriented song. There's also Refrigerator Car, which is really more alternative than anything else than they've done. It's very alternative sounding. And then I didn't know this either, but before they got signed, John Popper from Blues Travelers, a harmonica player, he was part of this band before they got signed. He and the lead singer were good friends in high school, and he left to do Blues Travelers before they got their record deal. But there's a song called If Only She Knew, I think, or Only If She Knew, something like that. And he's just got there's an incendiary harmonica solo in the middle of that song, courtesy of John Popper. It's just ridiculous. That guy could play harmonica like nobody's business. So that's another good song on there. Overall, I like the album. I thought it was really great. I like I said, I hadn't listened to it before. When it started to gain popularity, I think I mentioned this in another video earlier on. I really was starting to get into CCM and Christian music in the early '90s and through most of the '90s, actually. And so that's probably why I didn't listen to it other than what I heard on the radio or saw on MTV. But I'll listen to it again. It's a really good album. When I was watching videos, I kind of fell down a Spin Doctor rabbit hole. During the lockdown in 2020, like a lot of other bands did, they did Zoom jams where they were all at their respective homes or whatever, and they were playing songs. And they basically do this entire album via Zoom, and they sound just as good now, 2020, so 3 years ago, as they did on the album. I would go see those guys in concert right now if I had a chance. They sounded that good. If you want to, go fall down that rabbit hole of their lockdown Zoom recordings that they did on for this album. Also, Eric Shankman, the guitar player, he's an incredible guitar player, and you get more of that when you watch their Zoom recordings. But you can hear it on the album. He's got a great tone. He's got a great feel. A lot of his riffs start to sound the same sometimes, but he's still just a really great guitar player. I went and checked out some of his solo stuff because of this. So overall, great album. Loved it. I'll probably listen to it again. If you're a Spin Doctor fan and you have thoughts, or just a regular fan of music and have thoughts about this album, let me know. There you go.